What's going on, guys? I'm installing this WOT box by N2MB Racing. It is a two-step. It's got rev limiter. It's got, for manual cars, wide open throttle shifting. It's pretty cool. You hook it to your computer to tune it, or you can use the box, but it's pretty neat hooking it to the computer. But I was looking for some videos and noticed there wasn't any out there. Installing them on a Silverado truck, so I just wanted to give you all a little help if you're trying to do this yourself. So first off, find a location to mount the box. I decided right here next to my bump box controller. Run the wires under the dash, through the firewall. Once you get the wires through the firewall, mine came through some right here. So you're left with 5 wires. You got 3 wires that go into your computer, the ECU. And I'll go over those. It's going to be blue, yellow, and green. And then you've got 2 more wires for the coil pack power. The red goes to the fuse side of the wire, and the orange goes to the coil side of the wires. On these trucks, we have, get this cover. If you look right here, number 1, INJB, that's going to be right here, right there. That is injector B. 3 down, we've got another 15 amp fuse, and that is going to be 1, 2, 3. Where it's going to be right there. That's going to be INJA. It's 2 pink wires. You can take the loom back. It's a little easier if you see where it splits off right here to the right. It comes out the box, goes down, splits off right into the coil packs, and you can find there's 4 pink wires in here. It's 2 of those that you're going to need. So what I did, I got my multimeter. I put it on ohms so that when you touch, when it's got continuity, it beeps. So what I did, put your meter lead into the fuse link, to the fuse. Then you're going to want to test. I've got them wire nutted together right now, but that's how you would figure out which 2 pink ones it is. You just want to test to make sure you have continuity when you touch it. And then you can go to the other corner of the bottom side, down there. Actually fell out. I kind of get it stuck in there. And as you can see, we have continuity on that wire as well. So those 2 wires are your injector power wires. What you're going to want to do for the pink, you're going to cut them in half and splice them together, okay? Orange is going to connect to this side, going towards the coil. And then I've got my red going to connect to this side, going to the fuse. So I've got the blue wire soldered in to pin number 24. Got it taped up. Now we've got pin number 13 and pin number 10. The bottom one I just did, that's for the TPS sensor. 13 is for the cruise control switch, and 10 is for your RPM. That's going to be the yellow wire. After that, we have to ground the module in the cab, and then we will be complete with the install. So the ground for the WOT box, I've got right here in the fuse panel. I've got a washer, and then the connector, and then the original bolt back on it. And that's how we're getting the ground to it. I'll be on to plugging it to the computer, setting the program, making sure the parameters are correct, and then testing it out. and we'll run you through all that. Alright, so I've got the yellow tied into pin 10 and green tied into pin 13. I just spliced it back with my knife, wrap the wire around it. Now I'm going to solder it and tape them up, and the ECU wiring will be done. So we've got the WOT box connected to the computer. You upgrade it, and then it's kind of ready to go from there. All we did, we had to change the RPM source just to ignition signal. The TPS threshold looked good. We changed the number of cylinders. So from in here, you can mess with launch control, RPM, no lift shift. We'll probably disable that, just I don't want it messing with anything while I'm trying to, drive, since it's automatic. You can add a rev limiter. It's also got a shift light on the WOT box itself you can add if you want to. It's got a nitrous window switch controller. That's pretty cool. I probably will use that in the future, but once you get it connected, to know you've got the right TPS threshold and everything, if you hit the gas all the way down, the box should blink like this. When you let off, it goes back to solid. If you don't, it says you need to change your threshold to 1.7 here on the launch control and 1.7 on the global settings. But we're good to go on that. So basically, you just put the RPMs you want, and then it's good to go. Alright, so we got the green wire coming from the computer, which is the cruise control wire. When we had it on that, the clutch would always go down. Right here, it would say down whenever you had the gas pedal hooked up. I have a trans brake button anyway, so I figured, instead of even messing with the cruise control and trying to figure out how to, if I could set the clutch threshold, I think it'll be fine, because it's a different number from brake push down and the gas pushed all the way down compared to just the gas pushed all the way down. So you could get that figured out if you can figure out the clutch threshold. I don't know why it's not, lit up where you can change a setting, but I'm sure there is an option somehow. So what I did, I've got my trans brake button and I've got the bump box button. I just installed this bump box here. It's a simple stage plus. So what I've got going on, I've got the plus wiring. So the green wire right here, which is actually from the WOT box, I've got it tied in to my switch wire, which is coming from the trans brake. So when I hit the trans brake, go ahead and turn the key. Unless, as you can see, the clutch is up, the TPS is reading 0. We're going to hit the gas all the way to the floor and no trans brake button. And we're going to read So once you read it, it's going to be 3.59 volts on the TPS sensor. Clutch is reading 0 and up. I'm going to hit the trans brake button in, read it, and now the trans brake is reading 5 volts and it's reading down. So when I stage, I'm going to be holding this button in. When it's enabled, the two-step will work whenever I put it all the way to the floor. As soon as I let off this button, it's going to go up and basically cut the two-step off. I'm going to leave with the trans brake and it should be good to go. But it was kind of difficult trying to figure out the wiring. like I said, if you don't have a trans brake button, you could run it to like you could run this green wire from the WOT box. Yeah, that's what from the WOT box to like a momentary switch if you wanted to. Something like this, 2-step button, line lock, anything like this, you could kind of have it hooked to. So you have control of it on an automatic vehicle. They don't really have much information online about it, so I don't know, it's kind of difficult to figure it out just looking off diagrams and what other people say, but I think we've got it narrowed down. As soon as we get the transmission back in, we can do some testing on it, like out in the street, track, and just kind of see how it goes. But I like this a lot better than the average 2-step that I had, just because of the computer software. It's got a rev limiter, shift light if you want it, launch control. It's just pretty cool. And it kills power on each individual coil pack, so it supposedly does less harm for the engine. But that's going to be a wrap for this one. We've got this wired in. If y'all have any questions, just leave it in the comments. But we got this finished up, so we out.